I hope that this works well. I may not be able to see comments or anything because I am sharing my screen. So I really don't know. You can leave comments and questions, but well, hello. I'm going to start that all over again. Okay. Hi. I'm not. I'm starting just a little bit early to make sure everything is working all right. So if if you have questions or comments, I think I can see them, but I'm using a split. Well, not a split screen. I'm sharing my screen and working from a drawing tablet. So I don't know again how much you'll be able to see or hear. I hope the sound is good. This is really kind of an experiment. I am hoping to do this and planning actually to do this every week, but I may have some bugs to work out, so I apologize in advance if the sound isn't good or if you can't see what I'm doing well. And please, if you do have any problems, let me know in the comments because that will help me as I tweak things and go forward. If you can comment live, that's awesome. If you can't, leave a comment afterward. This will be left up so you can watch it again later and share it with your friends, and eventually we'll put it on our YouTube channel too. We're almost time. Okay, I'm showing 3 o'clock, so I live in the central time zone, so that means it's time to start. Welcome to See the Light Live. This is something. Oh, great. Thank you, Tammy, for letting me know that you can hear me. And Thank you for tuning in. I know that's an old-fashioned term. I don't know if tuning in really applies to the internet, but that's I'll be 65 this year, so I'm kind of old-fashioned anyway. But welcome. Thank you for plugging in, joining, whatever, coming to our first of many live episodes. That's not a good word either. It's not a TV show. This is a workshop, a lesson. We're going to be doing this every week now, God willing, on Thursday afternoons. It's going to be a live lesson. It's going to be probably about I'm shooting for 15, 20 minutes tops, maybe a little longer depending on what we're doing. But I'm going to be drawing with you, and let's get started. I am going to tell you a little bit about me here. So let me. I'm working from a drawing tablet, as you can probably see, and I'm using a program called Autodesk Sketchbook. That is free, incidentally. So if you want to use digital technology, let's see. I'm talking and trying to do two things at the same time. It's a really good program. Just go to sketchbook.com and you can download that. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jim Pence. I have done a lot of things in life, but one thing I've been doing for more than 40 years now is performance chalk art, and I've done it all over the country. Have done a lot in prisons, and you name it. My saying has always been, if somebody will let me set up an easel, I'll draw there. And I've drawn in people's living rooms. I've drawn in the Anaheim Convention Center. It's just a way that God has let me share His Word in a really unique way. So that's kind of enough about me. What are we going to be doing today? Well, we're going to do what I call drawing boot camp, and this is an exercise. In fact, the next couple of weeks I'm going to just give you some exercises that will help you drastically improve your ability to draw. Be ready to work a little bit. Some of these may be a little frustrating and challenging, but I promise you that if you do them and you do them regularly, you will just be amazed at how your drawing ability improves. What we're going to do today is something, if you've watched any of my videos, you've probably heard me harp on this a little bit. We're going to do some contour drawing. And contour just means the outside shape of something. So we're going to focus on that a little bit, but we're going to do something called blind contour drawing. So let me write here. Blind contour drawing, which means we don't have to put on blindfolds, but you don't get to look at your paper. That's what makes this so challenging. So what I'm going to do first is show you how to set up for this, depending on what you're using and what you're working with. If you're working with pencil and paper, and I'm guessing most of you are, then depending on whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you'll set up differently. So I'm going to put a circle here, and this is you. Okay, and let's say you're at a table or something. Okay, and for starters, I'm going to set up for a right-handed person. I'm left-handed, but I'll set up for a right-handed person first. So first thing we're going to do is, now again, it depends on what you're going to draw from. I have a photograph that I made available to you, and if you've downloaded that, then I'm assuming that you're looking at either a TV screen or a laptop or computer monitor or something like that. So whatever it is that you're drawing from, if you're drawing the pumpkin that we're going to talk about in just a minute, then that is what we're going to call the object. Now, if you're not drawing from that, if you didn't get the picture downloaded, you can do this exercise with anything. Just find some object. Any household object will work. And what I would say is, for starters, keep it very simple. Don't take something that has a lot of different aspects to its shape. A piece of fruit would be good. If you got an apple or a banana or something along those lines is great. A glass or a coffee cup, anything like that would be good to work from if you don't have the picture that we're going to be drawing from. So anyway, that's what we're going to call the object. If you are drawing right-handed, then this is you and this is forward here. So what you would want is your object over here. Okay, and you're going to put your paper over here, and then your hand is going to go over here with your pencil, and you are going to look that way. Okay, I don't want you to look at your paper at all when we do this, and that's going to be really hard, and it's going to be really frustrating, but work with me. Now, if you are left-handed, you're going to do that just the opposite. Okay, so let's do that again for a left-hander. Okay, so this is you. Okay, and here's your table. Okay, so now if you're a left-hander, you're going to put your object over here, and your paper is going to be over here, and you're going to write that way, but you're going to look that way. And you're not allowed to cheat on this when we do it. When I say cheat, I mean you're not allowed to look at your paper at all from the beginning to the end. Now I'm going to show you kind of how it would go. Here is the pumpkin. Now, when I actually do this, and I'm going to do a real contour drawing, so you'll see how bad mine looks too, and that'll maybe make you feel better. But right now, I've got this one in front of me so you can see what I'm going to do. When we actually do this, I'll be looking up at a computer monitor, and my drawing tablet is down in front of me, but I won't be looking at that. I'll be looking at the picture the whole time. So, but what I'm going to do is when I do this, I'm going to start by looking at some point on that picture of the pumpkin. In this case, I'm going to look right at the tip of the stem. And then what I'm going to do is as I look at that picture, I'm going to imagine that my eyes and my fingers are connected. And as my eye traces or tracks down that stem slowly, I'm going to make my fingers follow along. And then I'm going to come around and I'm going to go like this. And I'm just going to follow along the contour, the outside part of that pumpkin. And I'm going to try as much as possible to get some of the nuanced little bumps and parts of the shape that are a little bit different. Again, this is pretty simple and pretty round, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But then when I get to where I think the stem is again, I'm going to come up. I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to come and I'm going to trace that down and come across and come back up. So when I'm done, I should have basically an oval shape with the little stem drawn in. I'm not going to worry about any of these parts because that will be something that we will do next week when we go on to the next step in this. But that's really all I'm going to do. And that's what our exercise is going to be today. So get your object ready if you have it. Get it in position, get your paper in position. I'm going to give you a second or two to do that. I'm going to clear this off. So I have a drawing surface, and this is what I'm going to draw on. Whoops, I got to get on the right layer. There we go. Okay, so I've got my surface. Now, one thing, you can look at your paper at the very beginning and put your pencil in a good position, because if you're not looking at it, you might start over here and you're going to be, way out of place. So look at your paper and choose a starting point. If you're doing the pumpkin, you want to be kind of in the top third and a little bit off center to the left. So I'm gonna kind of start right there, and okay, I'm gonna take that off. I'll put a little dot there just so I can mark my starting point. Okay, you have your pencils and papers ready, I hope. Let's do a contour drawing. Now remember, don't look at your paper from the time you put your pencil down. And the other thing too is don't lift your pencil off of the paper. Leave the pencil on the paper the whole time. And I am now looking at the pumpkin on my monitor. I'm not looking at my drawing tablet anymore. And so I'm going to start drawing. And my eyes are tracking down, and I'm just following along that contour. And when I see, a little bump, I try to put that in. I'm trying not to talk too much because, this requires a little bit of concentration and focus as you do this. And honestly, I haven't practiced it a lot recently. Well, I have, but I haven't. I'm working on learning how to draw portraits, and I do what we would call modified contour drawing when I do the portraits, but just pure contour drawing, I honestly haven't practiced a lot lately, although I should. It's really something that if you want to keep your drawing fresh, it's a great thing to do every day. Now I'm coming across the bottom of the pumpkin, bottom to the left. I'm seeing a little bit of bumpy there because of the other pumpkin that it's sitting on. And I'm slowly trying to, curve up. And the temptation is for my eyes to go faster than my hand, or for the two to become unsynchronized. And you're getting to watch this, and I'm not. So you might be rolling on the floor laughing at my drawing right now. I don't know. I'm going up the stem now, coming out a little bit, and there's a little bump on the right side of the stem at the top. I'm coming down the stem. about as far as I want to come, and then I'm going to come across, and then I'm going to come back up to roughly where I think it started, and that's it. Oh, look at that. That's my beautiful pumpkin. And you are allowed to laugh. It's okay. That's my beautiful pumpkin contour drawing. Now that's why I said, yeah, this might be a little frustrating if you're really wanting to draw something that actually looks like something. But the trick with this is the more you do it, the better you get at it. And because I'm out of practice and haven't done this for a while, that's why it's not as good. Although honestly, it came out a little bit better than I thought it would. But it's this is something where basically what you're doing is you're training your eye and your hand to work together. A large part of drawing is learning how to draw what you see. And drawing what you see involves teaching your hand and your eye to work together. So this is your assignment for next week. We're going to do this again next Thursday at the same time. It'll be 3 o'clock my time, so it'll whatever 4 o'clock Eastern and on across the country depending on your time zone. But we're going to do this again next Thursday. But I'll take you to a different kind of contour drawing then. But your assignment between now and then is to do one contour drawing, at least one contour drawing every day, and try a different object. The more you do it, the better you will get at it, I promise. And this is something, if you can do 2 or 3, it's even better. But make this part of your daily drawing exercise, and it will revolutionize your ability to draw, I promise you. Now next week I will show you how to do modified contour drawing, and modified contour drawing will let you draw an object and it will look a whole lot more like what it's supposed to. But we'll talk about that next week. Well, I'm going to close out with one more thing, and that is for many years, I've not only been a chalk artist, but I was a pastor, and I always enjoy sharing God's word with people too. And we live in kind of crazy times right now. And one thing, I don't know if you're worried about what's going on in the world, but one thing that I do every night as I go to bed, one of the last things that runs through my mind is a verse from the Psalms. And, I share this with you in case you are a little nervous about what's going on in the world. One of my favorite Psalm verses is, "In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." We can always trust God and rely on Him as our Savior, our protector, and it's a joy to me to know that I can go to sleep and trust God even when the world's crazy, because He's the one who keeps me safe. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this. Please let me know if there were any issues or any difficulties. I live out in the boonies and my internet isn't always the most reliable, but we're going to do our best to do this every week. And I will be back here next Thursday with See the Light Live, and we will work on modified contour drawing. Thank you for being part of this first live episode, and again, let me know what you think of it. I'm Jim Pence, and we're done.